Alright, hi guys, and welcome to another video here on my crafty place. And as I promised, I do have a product review for you today. We have the Tim Holtz Distress Crayons. So this is a little kit. I picked it up, well I should say my mom picked it up at Michael's. It's got all kinds of stuff in it. It's got some directions in it, things like that. And I'll kind of go through it with you. But before I get started, I just want to let you know that my mom actually did pull the ink pad and the stamp set out of here. So I'm actually going to show you the back of the box to give you an idea of the stamp set that comes with it. You get a mini just archival pad with it. And I just don't know where they are. She pulled them out before I filmed the video. As you can see, it's open and we've been playing with it, or she's been playing with it, because it's technically hers. I'm just borrowing it for the video. So, just really quick, that's kind of everything, and you can see the stamp set and the ink pad that comes with it. So then I have some extra stuff out because of the stuff that she took. So I have this watercolor paper, which I probably won't actually need. But in case you were curious, and I'm planning on doing a watercolor and craft space Tuesday at some point. I don't know when that's going to be, but it'll happen. This is my current favorite paper. I picked this one up at Michael's. I wish I would have made or gotten the bigger sheets, like the 8.5 by 11 sheets. But I just wanted it to try out, and I thought this little one worked really well for that. And you can get some decent card size cuts out of it, even after sort of trimming off the booky ends part. So yeah, so definitely the Strathmore watercolor paper I definitely like. I think it's probably my favorite watercolor paper right now. This one doesn't say, oh there it does. So yeah, the cold pressed watercolor paper from Strathmore is probably my favorite watercolor paper. You can obviously find it in a bunch of different sizes. This happened to be on sale the day I bought it, so I just picked it up for that reason. And because my mom took the stamp set out of here, I just pulled off another random stamp set that I have. I have my favorite things ink. It is watercolor as well as Copic friendly. Cover's coming off a little bit. But yes, so it is watercolor as well as Copic friendly. So that's what I've pulled out for that to use there. My stamp chamois, so I can get stuff cleaned off. And then just an extra acrylic block because I think I'm going to end up using the acrylic block for something else. And I just realized I forgot to grab something, so I'm going to be right back with the other thing I forgot to grab. Okay, I'm back. I forgot to grab some water. They are watercolor crayons. I'm going to need some water. I know I'm not going to do a whole lot with this today. I'm just going to I'm going to show you the instruction book and kind of go through it with everyone because this will be my first time playing with these. So I just have a little cup of water. I actually usually use small sized red Solo cups when I do watercoloring at my craft, like on my kitchen table where most of my craft stuff is. I usually use like a small size red Solo cup. But for today, since we're just doing a little bit, I just grabbed a little Dixie cup kind of thing. So let's get down to business to defeat the Huns, right? Okay, anyway, this is not the paintbrush that comes with it. This is also my paintbrush. I just happened to stick it in the box in case I wanted a little bigger brush. One of the things I want to get soon is a nice set of paintbrushes. All the paintbrushes I'm using, except for the one that I'm about to pull out this box, I've had since I was very, very small. So I am definitely looking to get some really nice, like, artist quality paintbrushes sometime soon. This is the brush that came with it. It's a very, very nice brush and much more along the lines of what I'd like to get someday. Soon, hopefully. So yes, it comes with a paintbrush, and then it comes with some of the Tim Holtz watercolor paper. This is what I'm going to use first, and I actually do have a larger pack of this. I have the 8.5 by 11 ones I got from the stamp store around here. If you're curious, Gina K also sells them in the smaller sizes, kind of like this. So this is what I'm going to start using. I only have the Strathmore here in case I go through all of this, but there's actually a lot here. So I don't think I'm actually going to go through all this. Yeah, there's 5 sheets here. I won't go through all this today. But yes, there's that in there. There's, of course, the Distress Crayon set. It's sort of the brighty color set. So a pretty decent set of colors. It comes with a smaller acrylic block. So you're probably saying, Sam, you pulled out an acrylic block. So why did you, if you knew this was in here? I'm going to end up using this as my palette for some of the stuff we're going to do. Because it's really thin. I don't know if the camera picks it up, but it's very, very thin. And I like my blocks to be a little bit thick on the thicker side. Oh, no, she did leave me the stamp set. I just couldn't find it. Okay, so here's the stamp set. So we're not going to use my other stamp set. We're going to use this one. I really like the cone. There's a cone flower down here. It's super glary, guys. I'm sorry. And the flowers down there. So yeah, so we'll actually use this instead of the other one I pulled out. And then that's all that's in here. And then this is the instruction booklet. So this is what we're going to be looking through, or what I'm going to be looking through and following. There's a bunch of different techniques in here, and that's how I'm going to be kind of playing through, because I don't really know what to expect with these. They're very, like, sort of a new thing. So I'm going to start right on the first page. So if you guys have this kit, you can follow along too. So let's get started. So the book says to start, the first technique it wants to teach us is blending. So it says to color several distress colors. You can kind of see the book. Onto the watercolor cardstock. So I'm going to do just the first 3 colors here. I could go all rainbow on this, but I don't really want to. I just want to do it really quick. For those of you who don't know, I actually just got a new job. So I'm hoping to keep things as normal as possible, but I'm also trying to not make promises because I don't know exactly how much time I'm going to have now. But I really like making videos for you guys, so I'm definitely going to stick with it. It just may be a few weeks where videos are short or get missed or something like that if I get really busy or something. Because videos take some time. But I'm going to try my hardest to stay up with it. Okay, so I'm going to color several colors of the crayons onto this cardstock. You guys can't really see the cardstock because it's so white, but it's here. I like the way they feel when I color with them. They remind me of oil pastels. If you ever played with those as a kid, I did. We used to have them in my art class. I always really liked playing with them. I liked the way they felt when I colored with them, and these feel much the same way as those, and I kind of like it. Here's my catch with this Distress Crayons. I'm not a fan of the Faber-Castell gelatos. I got one once for free from Scrapbook Expo, and it was just like, meh. I didn't really like it. But something about the Distress Crayons already is making me feel a lot better. And I don't know if it's the container, because I like the holders a little bit longer. The Castell ones are really short. I don't know if they've changed, because that was a couple years ago now. Since then, I had gotten that free one. So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe things have changed with them. Maybe they're a little bit better now. Maybe I should really honestly give them another go. But right now I'm kind of liking, I like they feel smooth. Like sometimes crayons don't feel smooth, and I like that about them. Like even on the watercolor paper that's a little bit textured, they still color really smooth. Okay, so I'm going to actually use this paintbrush. And it says to brush with the wet paintbrush. And then blend them together. Okay. I'll zoom in a little bit for you guys. I might put some music on under this while I get this going. Okay, so you do have to get it pretty wet, but I also scribbled a lot down, so maybe that could be why. But you definitely have to get it pretty wet. So I am using a little bit bigger of a brush. Kind of, sort of. And I will be the first to say too that my cardstock or my watercolor techniques are not the best. I'm just not there, guys. So I don't know, but I'm also just messing around with this, so I don't know what we're gonna get. I don't know. They do blend together really nice though. Ouch. But I guess all the distressed products kind of do that, but they really do blend nice into themselves. And then you can't, oh yeah, you can't. So like, because I didn't bring a paper towel or anything with me to kind of clean off my brush a little bit, I'm just gonna do this. I'm not gonna change colors though, like I'm only gonna use these warm colors, so I'm not too worried about like water and the colors mixing or anything like that. But, yeah. Ooh. I don't know if you heard that, my brush just cracked though, so that's why I want some new brushes. Okay. So yeah, oh, and then, fun fact, look, I can smudge it even more with my finger. That's kind of nice. Because some of these big, darky spots I'm not a fan of, so I can get in here and get it all with my finger. The red is definitely the hardest to watercolor with, I think, but I've been having trouble finding a really decent red watercolor color. If you happen to know one, I will gladly take your suggestions. I want to get better at watercoloring because when I get really good at it, my reward to myself is going to be buying some really high quality watercolors, because right now I just have been using Tombow markers and Distress inks for watercoloring. So yeah. So there you go. That's how that came out. It's another really pretty sunset color. I actually use these cards to do sunset color, or these colors to do sunset colors a lot. You guys haven't seen it because it's just in my technique binder, but in my technique binder I did a really pretty sunset kind of colory card that I will hopefully show off someday when I feel a little more confident in what my technique binder is and I want to start showing it off. Okay, so number 2 says shading. Okay, so this one's pretty easy. So I'm going to do red again. Basically what it's supposed to do is color the crayon onto the cardstock. Take the brush and then pull the color out. So it's basically the same thing you did with the blending. Honestly, same thing. This is a horrible brush. I should switch to the other brush, but I don't want to ruin the other brush. But this is a horrible brush. It feels like horrible to use it. But yeah, so that's basically how the shading works. Just pull the color out. And then, I have a lot of color colored down, but if I actually added more water and pulled it out, it will get lighter. And that's how watercolor works. So that's kind of fun. Get some red off of here. Okay, so that's kind of fun. Now, here's one thing I want to try that the book hasn't had me try yet, and I think this is the last technique. The videos I've watched with the Distress Crayons always say that you can kind of smudge it with your finger. And I want to try that. I mean, obviously I tried it a little bit here and here, and it works really well, but what happens if I just color with it and try to smudge it? That is like the red I've been looking for. If only it was watercolor. Yeah. What color is this? Does it say? Festive Berries. Okay, I need to get that Distress ink color sometime. Okay, and then there's 2 more techniques in here. Or 3 more. 3 more. I'm going to try and do them all on the same piece of paper, and I'll see if I can. And for this, we're going to need all of our blocks. And in the book, they all use the butterfly, but I'm gonna use the thing. And I think, how many are there? 3. Yeah, so I'm gonna do 2 of these, and then I'm gonna leave part of it blank. Just because I'm trying not to waste the paper. Okay. This way. That in a minute. Okay, so stamps and all that are done now. And we're going to color now. And I'm actually going to pull out some different colors. Everything's sticking over here. I'm going to do green and purple. So for this one, it says to just color on top where you want everything to get colored in. I'll just get that and get some water going here.
I think so. But they have like their own sheets. So should we put them in the knife rack is the question.
Oh no, as we were standing in line, my flippy floppy broke. Good thing where I had Sam's where I can buy a new pair right now. Achievement unlocked.
Back at home after grocery shopping, you guys didn't miss much because the camera died. Like right when I was filming my new flippy floppies, camera died. Yeah, it wasn't very.
Well, that's kind of how the direct to paper watercolor works. I'm not doing a good job at it. I just sort of did a really rough kind of thing. So you can see, like, there's a lot. You can do some really cool shading stuff with it. It works pretty well. I did it again, which I'm not going to because I don't want to waste the paper. I would probably not lay down so much color to start with, and I'll do some of the leaves here just to see if I was direct. So like I would probably have gone in here and done real similar to how I do direct to paper with my Tombos when I do it, which isn't very often. This is a really nasty green though, guys. Ew. But yeah, that worked a lot better to kind of do it like that. Okay, that looks really gross though. That's not a pretty color. It looks like baby puke. But greens are a hard color for me. I don't like very many greens. Will I probably eventually get this color in the ink? Probably. Okay. Now this is the way I think I'm gonna like it. This one is the palette blending. Where did I put my palette though, dude? I pulled it out. Here it is. This is how I usually watercolor, so that's why I think this is gonna be the one that I like. So I just take the crayon and you just color around the crayon. And I'm actually going to use a smaller brush on this one. I think that's going to be a big help. And I can go here, pick up some of the color, and start going. Yeah, see, this is much more how I prefer to watercolor. You don't get the sharp lines or anything like that. You have a lot more control over the color this way, I think. I'm probably not going to do this whole thing because we're getting up there on video times. So yeah, so there's that. I'll just do a little bit of the green. Now see, now the green doesn't come out very good with this direct to or the palette colors. That came out a lot better with the other colors.
Happy Saturday, everybody. It's raining like crazy.
And then this just comes off. Or not really. I'm gonna have to go clean that up later when I go wash my hands and all that kind of stuff. And then this is the last one. I'm going to do the same kind of thing here. And basically what it says to do is do this. So this one actually gives two different options. You can either do it the way I just did it, and I'm not going to go crazy with this one because it's basically something I've already showed you, and then just blend them together like this and get your bag. That's basically something I've already showed you, so I'm not really going to show you. It's just saying use it as a background and stamp on it after it dries. So, I can wrap this up now while I wash off this brush, or while I wipe off this brush. Is it going to be a medium I'm going to reach for often? Honestly, no. Probably not. Will I use it? Yeah, probably. I do like them. Probably just not something I'm going to reach for all the time. And absolutely no reason to do with the actual crayons themselves as much as I have 5 colors of the crayons, and I have a lot of other colors of the things, and they work the exact same way. I mean, it's not really even my thing, it's my mom's. But yeah, that's what there is to that. So you can do a lot of cool stuff with them. I think even if you played around with them a little bit more than I have today, you could probably find some really cool stuff. I also, before I made this video, intended to do some YouTube research on this, and I didn't. I think for doing things like this and making backgrounds, really cool. Can't get it on the frame. There you go. For doing things like this and making backgrounds, I think they're really cool. For doing things like this, don't really recommend this direct to water or direct to paper watercolor. The palette watercolor went a lot better. I think I struggled. I don't think I put enough color on my palette. So that's all I have for you today. Next week should be another card video because we've been having a lot of these sort of talky videos. So next week should be another card video. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe down below. And I will see you next week.
Let's see.